Okay, I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to add this video to the end of the last one, but I'm actually going to give it a go, mainly because we've got to this sort of stage. I think it's pretty clear that Chileans are going to win at this stage, but what you've got to remember is that from turn 13, if you consider they had this much on the board, and then at turn 13 they suddenly get all of that. However, that's quite a long way off. I mean, it's turn 6, turn 7, I mean, we've got a few turns to go. Now, I'm not necessarily going to play it again, but I sort of feel like playing it again, mainly because I sort of think that I'm pretty sure that the Libyans could hold out a little more. I mean, they were a bit adventurous going down there. One thing I will say at this point, and I had the brainwave today, and that's to basically put in a system to record the state of play at every turn. So then I could sort of go back and I could say, open this up, press A, go back to turn 2, and it will show all the positions for turn 2. I can actually do that quite easily. I mean, it's quite easily. It'll probably be a bit of time, a couple of days development or whatever. But it's something that I've sort of figured out that I can possibly do. Why is that pointer doing that? Anyway, so I could sort of go back and sort of say, well, when this was that, etc. I mean, with the video, I can almost look back anyway, but it'd be sort of quite easy to do that, and especially with the larger battles where I can sort of do all the movement off screen and then sort of show the positions, etc., etc. For AAR, after action reports, I don't like the term, but sort of to some extent they're better than watching in large games, hundreds of counters being moved, which is this is sort of the thing about the limit of how large I like games to get. But the point is, what I'm trying to do here is just another video, because I think what will happen is the units will be destroyed. But as I was sort of inferring, I'll just say again because I just want to make sure I've made the point. I think if I played it again, the Libyan units could play a much better role, a much better gameplay, defense-wise. I mean, losing units out there shouldn't have happened. I got the feeling that I should have been able to take this and then be fighting a retreat from there, but there's no way I could take it. And so to some extent the situation would be to sort of form a line and to consider where that best defence would be. But there's a lot of troops here, but staying in the mountains would be fairly central to it. Now the thing is, if you put yourself in the mountains, it would force the Chadian units to manoeuvre, which they can do. But the thing is that all that manoeuvring takes time, and we've only got to wait until 13 turns. So here, I think what I'm saying is, we played 6 turns, and I feel that there's plenty of scope for delaying the inevitable loss to turn 13. I mean, I think another 2 turns could have been easily well have achieved, just by not pushing the troops down into vulnerable positions. Maybe forcing them to all come up here with a few delaying tactics through the mountains, not trying to create a front line across the mountains, etc., etc. And also better use of the air power, because I do have quite good air power. So anyway, I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I think I'm going to try and take this, see what we've got. So he's not depressed, it's 2, he's going to be worth about 6 in the mountains. 1, 2, 3, 4. But this time I've got mechanised infantry in there as well, so I'm going to go for it. Burn. Okay, so I've got a DR on that, 4-to-1 odds. Okay, so he's gone back there. So I can't really move up to make more of that. Okay, so that's pretty much the Chadian turn. So here we now have the final sort of defence. Now they're heavily depressed. He's slightly depressed. I think they're just going to sit there. Now the artillery has a chance to do something. He's not going to get any less depressed than he is. So what? Well, something that's already depressed. I think it's got 0.7. Nothing. 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 I don't want to go for this stack because it's in the mountains, but so this one with 0.4 depression, 1 depression. I think I'm going to go for that stack there. Okay, well that's knocked him up to 4.4. It's knocked him up to 1.3, so it's not bad. I think we'll try the artillery on him as well. 3.6. Well, that's good. So it puts him up to 8. Yeah, I mean a defensive game like that is, you know, can be far more productive. You know, they've probably done more damage there than they have in any of their counterattacks. So we're on turn 7, so it's now the Chadian turn 7. This is where it's going to get particularly bloody. .4 puts him up to 2.4, 0.4, 2, 4.8, pretty much half. Okay. Two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can probably just about get that. It's got no movement. Okay, well let's just take this out. We've got one artillery piece in there. I'm just going to use this lot. This lot can go against that. 7 to 1 DE, which is It's just a steamroller, isn't it? Let's see what we can actually achieve here. I'm not even going to think about the odds. Can't be that bad. (7-1) DE. So, well, that's a convenient. That's a convenient sort of point for this video to be at. It's now really a case of waiting another 6 turns for the Libyans then to sort of pile in from here. But of course we want to sort of form up a defensive posture, and I think that's easier said than done, because the bottom line is they can just come straight down here, straight through there into Bardia. They can choose whatever way they want to take this place out, and the only true defensive line will be across the whole of the screen, across the whole of the map, so across that ridge maybe, across here, down here and along there. Now the defensive line could probably trail out to these mountains here, although it'd probably be nice to keep it along there. So I mean, really, that's what we've got to think. Where do we want things? I think the artillery could do well with being in these mountains. We've got 6 turns to do that. And I mean, another thing to just sort of add is that the Chadian units have lost nothing. As far as I can recall, they've lost absolutely nothing. But I'm not going to do that, because I don't want to sort of sit around. I've got things to do. But what I might do is play the whole thing again, because I really I do enjoy these little games, and I really want to sort of. I'm getting to the stage right now where I can sort of, I'm a little happier to go back and start playing things now that they're made and they're in the past and they're done and dusted and it's not new, and I can go back and look at it critically. And this game certainly got all the elements of that make a game interesting. You know, the scope of the reinforcements. But I think again it's like a lot of games where you sort of you play it once and then you realise how it works and you play it differently the next time. So I don't want to do that next stage just yet because I've got things to do. But I think basically, I'm not sure. This is going to be the trickiest part, but maybe even just along here. You know, it's sort of with something to fall back on here. I mean, you just got to look at how many units are going to come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, look at that artillery. You know, they'll probably just be able to sit there firing artillery, so we're going to have to deal with that. So it's really critical for the Chadians to keep the artillery that they've got. And to be quite honest, every turn that the Libyans could have delayed this victory would have been one less turn to move in these units, because I mean it's going to take quite a long time to get there. And I've probably got plenty of time, 6 turns, so I could probably do it. But if I only had 3 turns, I probably wouldn't be able to get there. I'd probably find it quite difficult to actually prepare a defensive posture. You know, I'm going to leave it at that, and so I might just try this from scratch. I might even try it live screening, so I don't have to keep uploading things. So later, bye.